Have you ever taken leftovers from the refrigerator, warmed them in the oven, and believed you were choosing a fast, nutritious option? What if I revealed that some of those warmed dishes could quietly damage your health, increasing your chances of cancer, stomach problems, and even mental harm? In this video, we're exploring 5 everyday foods that experts and dietitians caution should never be warmed. Because they can become poisonous, these are common foods you probably consider beneficial, but research shows how warming them can produce dangerous substances tied to severe long-term health dangers. Watch until the end to learn not only which foods to steer clear of, but also the unexpected reasons why, supported by authentic medical research. So you can make wiser kitchen decisions to safeguard your wellness and feel your finest daily. Before we start, I'd be grateful if you'd like this video. You can assist me in continuing to share this timeless wisdom. If you haven't joined yet, I suggest you subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any content. If you enjoy this video, please comment number 1. If you don't enjoy it, comment number 0 to inform me so I can create a better video for you. Now, let's dive in. Number 1. Warming spinach unleashes harmful nitrates. Spinach is a nutritional gem praised for its flexibility and wellness advantages. Whether it's mixed into smoothies, cooked into stir-fries, stacked in casseroles, or added to salads, this leafy vegetable is a mainstay in kitchens globally. Loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, plus iron and antioxidants, spinach is often a top pick for those seeking to enhance their vitality. However, a typical kitchen practice, warming spinach, especially after it's been kept, can transform this superfood into a potential health hazard. The core of this problem lies in spinach's naturally elevated nitrate levels. Nitrates in their original state are not only safe, but helpful, promoting healthy circulation, lowering blood pressure, and even boosting physical performance. According to research in publications like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, however, the nature of nitrates shifts under specific circumstances. When spinach is prepared, stored, particularly at room temperature, or in the refrigerator for long periods, and then warmed, especially in an oven or at high heat, a chemical change happens. Nitrates degrade into nitrites, and these nitrites can further turn into nitrosamines, substances that have been thoroughly examined for their cancer-causing traits. Nitrosamines are no minor issue. Studies, including those from the World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute, have connected these substances to a heightened risk of cancers, especially those impacting the digestive system, such as stomach and colorectal cancer. Additionally, new studies indicate that nitrosamines may contribute to brain damage, potentially worsening conditions like memory loss or even playing a part in neurodegenerative disorders over time. The shift from nitrates to nitrosamines is subtle and invisible, making it a sneaky danger for those unaware of the science. This issue is especially relevant for older individuals whose bodies are more vulnerable to environmental and dietary poisons. As we age, our cellular repair systems slow, and our bodies become less effective at neutralizing harmful substances. What might have been a small problem in our 20s or 30s can have a more significant effect in our 50s, 60s, and beyond, particularly on delicate systems like the brain and nervous system. For example, long-term exposure to low levels of nitrosamines has been linked to inflammation, a known factor in memory decline and conditions like Alzheimer's disease. As noted in research published in neurology journals, picture a typical situation. You make a large pot of spinach-filled vegetable soup on Sunday, planning to enjoy it during the week. On Tuesday, you warm a portion in the oven for a quick meal. While the soup tastes okay, the warmed spinach may now contain nitrosamines formed during storage and warming. Over weeks, months, or even years of repeating this practice, these substances can build up in your body, potentially contributing to long-term health dangers that develop silently. The answer isn't to avoid spinach entirely. Its fresh form remains one of the healthiest foods you can consume. Instead, adopt smarter cooking habits. Whenever possible, eat spinach, fresh or lightly prepared. If you've made a dish with spinach, Try consuming leftovers cold. Think spinach, salad or chilled soup to avoid warming. If warming is unavoidable, do so gently using low heat on a stovetop rather than an oven, and avoid warming multiple times. Also, store spinach-containing dishes in the refrigerator quickly and eat them within a day or two to reduce nitrate breakdown. Knowledge is strength. Understanding how daily kitchen practices can affect your wellness empowers you to make informed decisions. By making small changes like prioritizing fresh or cold spinach, you can shield your body and mind from hidden dangers, ensuring that this nutrient-rich vegetable remains a health supporter rather than a secret threat. If you're still watching this video and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're still with me. Thank you for your precious time. Number 2. Warmed potatoes can silently harm your wellness. Potatoes are a cherished comfort food valued across cultures for their affordability, flexibility, and satisfying texture. Whether mashed with butter, roasted with spices, baked with a crispy skin, or simmered in a hearty stew, potatoes are a foundation of countless meals. However, a little-known danger arises when potatoes are cooked, cooled, stored, and then warmed, a common habit in many homes. This process can trigger changes in the potato's makeup that may pose health dangers, especially when handled improperly. When potatoes are first prepared, their starches break down into a soft, digestible form that our bodies process easily. However, as cooked potatoes cool, especially if left at room temperature or refrigerated for too long, these starches undergo a process called retrogradation, turning into resistant starch. Resistant starch in moderation can be beneficial, acting as a prebiotic that supports gut health and helps regulate blood sugar, according to studies in the Journal of Nutrition. But the trouble starts when these cooled potatoes are warmed, particularly using high heat methods like ovens or uneven warming techniques. The primary concern with warmed potatoes lies in their potential to harbor harmful bacteria such as Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism. This risk is amplified when potatoes are cooked, wrapped in foil, which creates an oxygen-poor environment, and allowed to cool slowly at room temperature before storage. These conditions create a perfect breeding ground for Clostridium botulinum, which thrives in loxygen, starchy environments. Even if the potatoes don't smell or look spoiled, the bacteria can produce neurotoxins that are odorless, tasteless, and invisible but capable of causing severe illness, including symptoms like nausea, dizziness, and, in rare cases, neurological complications. For older individuals, this risk is particularly concerning. Aging brings a natural decline in immune function and digestive efficiency, making the body less equipped to combat bacterial toxins. Moreover, the gut-brain connection, a growing area of medical research, highlights how gut health directly influences mental function. Chronic inflammation caused by harmful bacteria or toxins in the gut has been linked to an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as noted in studies published in Frontiers in Neuroscience. Imagine you've baked a tray of potatoes for dinner, wrapped the extras in foil, and stored them in the refrigerator. A couple of days later, you warmed them in the oven for a quick side dish. While convenient, this practice could introduce low levels of bacterial toxins into your system, which may build up with repeated exposure. The risk is even higher if the potatoes were left to cool slowly before refrigeration, as this extends the window for bacterial growth. To enjoy potatoes safely, follow a few simple guidelines. First, cook only what you'll eat fresh whenever possible. If you must store leftovers, cool them quickly and store them in airtight containers, not foil in the refrigerator, to slow bacterial growth. When warming, use a stovetop or oven to ensure even heating and avoid warming potatoes more than once. If leftovers have been sitting in the refrigerator for more than a couple of days or show any signs of spoilage, err on the side of caution and discard them. Potatoes remain a nutritious and delicious food when prepared and handled with care. By being mindful of how you store and warm them, you can minimize risks and maximize their benefits. For older individuals who are often focused on preserving energy, memory, and overall vitality, These small adjustments can make a significant difference in long-term health. Number 3. Warmed eggs may unleash harmful substances. Eggs are a cornerstone of American cuisine, valued for their affordability, flexibility, and nutritional richness. Whether scrambled for breakfast, boiled for snacks, or used in quiches and casseroles, eggs are a go-to protein source packed with essential nutrients like choline, which supports brain health, and high-quality protein for muscle maintenance. However, a common habit, warming cooked eggs, especially in an oven or at high temperatures, can transform this wholesome food into one that may pose subtle but significant health dangers. When eggs are first prepared, their proteins undergo a process called denaturation, where they unfold and reconfigure into a digestible form. This is a natural and beneficial part of cooking. However, warming already cooked eggs, particularly using uneven or intense heat, triggers further chemical changes that can compromise their safety and nutritional value. Two key issues arise: the breakdown of sulfur compounds and the oxidation of cholesterol. Sulfur compounds naturally present in eggs can degrade during warming, producing a characteristic rubbery texture and off-putting sulfurous smell. More concerning, however, is the oxidation of cholesterol in the egg yolk. When warmed, especially at high temperatures, cholesterol can oxidize into compounds called oxysterols, which have been linked to increased inflammation and a higher risk of cardiovascular diseases. According to research in the Journal of Lipid Research, chronic inflammation, in turn, is a known contributor to memory decline, cognitive impairment, and neurodegenerative conditions like dementia, as highlighted in studies from Nature reviews. Neurology: older individuals are particularly vulnerable to these effects. As we age, our bodies process fats less efficiently. Our arteries become less flexible, and our brains become more sensitive to inflammation. This means that dietary habits that seem minor, like warming scrambled eggs for a quick breakfast, can have outsized consequences over time. For example, imagine you boil a batch of eggs on Sunday to eat throughout the week. On Wednesday, you warm one in the oven. While it may seem like a healthy protein-packed choice, the egg's proteins have become tougher, and its cholesterol may have oxidized, introducing inflammatory compounds into your system over months or years. This habit could contribute to systemic inflammation that quietly undermines your health. To minimize these risks, prioritize eating eggs fresh or shortly after cooking. If you batch cook eggs for convenience, consider enjoying them cold, such as in salads, sandwiches, or as a snack. Rather than warming them, if warming is necessary, use gentle, even heat, such as a low-temperature stovetop, and avoid multiple rounds of warming. Also, store cooked eggs in the refrigerator promptly and consume them within a few days to maintain their quality and safety. If an egg smells off, looks discolored, or has been stored for too long, it's best to discard it. Eggs remain a nutritional powerhouse when prepared thoughtfully. By making small changes to how you handle and consume them, you can continue to enjoy their benefits while minimizing potential risks. These seemingly minor decisions, how you store, warm, or choose to eat your eggs, can add up to significant health benefits over time. Supporting your energy, cognition, and overall well-being, your body deserves the best. And sometimes that starts with rethinking something as simple as your breakfast routine. If you're still watching this video and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're still with me. Thank you for your precious time. Number 4. Warming chicken can trigger hidden inflammation. Chicken is a mainstay in many homes, celebrated for its flexibility, affordability, and reputation as a healthy, lean protein. Whether grilled, roasted, or baked, it's a top choice for fitness enthusiasts, busy families, and anyone aiming to maintain a balanced diet. Many of us cook chicken in bulk, storing leftovers in the refrigerator for quick meals throughout the week. It's convenient, time-saving, and seems like a practical choice. But here's a surprising fact you may not have considered: warming chicken, particularly using methods like ovens or high-heat stoves, can subtly alter its composition in ways that may contribute to inflammation, digestive issues, and even long-term Health concerns. When you first cook chicken, the heat transforms its protein structure in a way that makes it more digestible. The proteins denature, breaking down into forms that your stomach and intestines can process efficiently. However, when you warm that same chicken, especially if the process is uneven, as often happens in an oven, or if the temperature is excessively high, those proteins undergo a second transformation. This additional heating can cause the proteins to become tougher, more rigid, and less bioavailable, meaning your body has to work harder to break them down. For younger individuals with robust digestive systems, this might not be immediately noticeable. But as we age, our digestive enzymes and stomach acid production naturally decline, making it harder to process foods that were once easy to handle. The result? You might experience bloating, discomfort, or a vague sense of sluggishness after eating warmed chicken without fully connecting the dots to the warming process itself. The impact goes beyond digestion, though, and this is where the stakes get higher. Research in nutritional science has shown that warming proteins like chicken can lead to the formation of compounds that trigger low-grade systemic inflammation in the body. These compounds, such as advanced glycation end products, AGEs, form when proteins and fats are exposed to high heat multiple times. AGEs are particularly concerning because they're not just a minor inconvenience, they're linked to chronic inflammation, which is now recognized as a root cause of numerous health issues. Inflammation doesn't just manifest as joint pain or swelling. It's a silent driver of serious conditions like heart disease, insulin resistance, and even neurodegenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's and dementia. Over time, the cumulative effect of consuming foods that promote inflammation, even in small amounts, can wear down your body's resilience, leaving you more vulnerable to these age-related diseases. Let's paint a picture to make this more relatable. Imagine it's Sunday evening, and you've prepared a batch of roasted chicken breasts for the week. You store them in the refrigerator, and on Tuesday, you warm a portion in the oven for a quick lunch. You notice the chicken has a slightly rubbery texture, maybe a faint off flavor, but you shrug it off. It's still edible, right? What you might not realize is that this change in texture and taste reflects deeper chemical changes in the food. The proteins have undergone a second round of heat-induced damage, creating a product that's not only less palatable, but also harder for your body to process. This places a subtle but real strain on your digestive system, which over time can cascade into stress on your immune system and even your nervous system. This issue is particularly critical for older adults who may already be grappling with inflammation-related challenges like arthritis, high blood pressure, or cognitive fog. Chronic low-grade inflammation acts like a slow-burning fire in the body, sapping energy, dulling mental clarity, and even affecting mood. For someone in their 50s, 60s, or beyond, these effects can make daily life feel more taxing than it needs to be. While avoiding warmed chicken won't magically resolve all health issues, it's a simple, actionable step to reduce unnecessary stress on your body. By making small changes like this, you're giving your system a chance to focus its energy on repair, recovery, and maintaining vitality. So, what can you do to minimize these risks? First, consider how you warm leftovers. If you must warm chicken, do so gently. Using a low-temperature oven or stovetop method can help preserve the protein structure better than an oven. Better yet, try incorporating leftover chicken into cold dishes like salads or wraps, where warming isn't necessary. Another strategy is to cook smaller batches of chicken to eat fresh, reducing the need for storage and warming altogether. These small adjustments might seem minor, but they add up over time, especially as your body becomes more sensitive to dietary stresses with age. The key takeaway is that food preparation matters just as much as food selection. Chicken itself is a nutritious choice, but how you handle it after cooking can make a significant difference in how it affects your health. By being mindful of habits like warming, you're not just feeding your body, you're showing it care and respect. As we age, these small acts of mindfulness become powerful tools for protecting our long-term well-being. If you're still watching this video and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're still with me. Thank you for your precious time. Number 5. Mushrooms lose their harmony when warmed. Mushrooms are a nutritional gem cherished for their earthy taste, satisfying texture, and remarkable health benefits. Packed with antioxidants, fiber, B vitamins, and immune-supporting compounds. Like beta-glucans, they're a fantastic addition to everything from stir-fries and soups to omelets and side dishes. Whether you're resorting cremoni grilling portobellos or simmering shiitakes, mushrooms bring a unique depth to meals while offering benefits for heart health, immunity, and even cancer prevention. But there's a lesser-known downside to this culinary favorite. Mushrooms are highly sensitive to warming, and this sensitivity can affect not just their tastes and texture, but also how your body responds to them, potentially disrupting your internal balance in unexpected ways. Unlike most vegetables, mushrooms have a unique makeup that includes complex proteins, enzymes, and delicate fats. When you cook them fresh, these components break down in a controlled way, releasing their flavors and making their nutrients more accessible to your body. However, when you warm mushrooms, especially multiple times or using high-heat methods like ovens, their structure undergoes further degradation. The proteins and enzymes break down into less digestible forms, which can lead to digestive discomfort, bloating, or a heavy, sluggish feeling after eating. This is particularly true for older adults, whose digestive systems may already be less efficient due to age-related declines in enzyme production and gut motility. What might have been a minor inconvenience in your 20s or 30s can become a noticeable source of discomfort in your 50s or beyond. The concerns with warmed mushrooms extend beyond digestion, though, and touch on a deeper issue: oxidative stress. When mushrooms are improperly stored, for example, left in a plastic container where moisture accumulates or warmed unevenly, their proteins and fats can oxidize, forming compounds that contribute to cellular damage. Oxidative stress is a key player in aging and chronic disease, driving inflammation and increasing the risk of conditions like cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and even neurodegenerative disorders. Studies have shown that oxidized compounds in food can exacerbate this stress, placing an additional burden on your body's antioxidant defenses. For seniors or anyone managing chronic health conditions, this added stress can manifest as fatigue, brain fog, or a weakened immune response. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose you've made a delicious mushroom risotto for dinner, rich with cremoni and oyster mushrooms. It's a comforting, nutrient-packed meal, and you store the leftovers in the refrigerator. The next day, you warm a portion in the oven, but you notice the mushrooms have lost their tender, juicy quality. They're now chewy, slightly slimy, or have an off-putting, muted flavor. These sensory changes are more than just a culinary disappointment. They're a sign that the mushrooms, proteins, and fats have undergone chemical changes. The once beneficial nutrients have transformed into compounds that your body struggles to process, potentially contributing to inflammation or oxidative stress with every bite. The texture of warmed mushrooms offers another clue. Freshly cooked mushrooms are plump, flavorful, and satisfying. After warming, they often become rubbery, watery, or overly soft, signaling a loss of structural integrity. This degradation doesn't just affect enjoyment, it reduces the nutritional value and increases the likelihood of digestive or systemic issues for older adults who may already struggle with bloating, gas, or irregular digestion. These subtle changes in food quality can compound existing challenges, making it harder to pinpoint the root cause of discomfort. To minimize these risks, handle mushrooms with extra care. If you have leftover cooked mushrooms, store them in a sealed glass container in the refrigerator to prevent moisture buildup, which can accelerate spoilage and oxidation. When warming, opt for gentle methods like a low-heat stovetop or oven to preserve as much of the original structure as possible. Even better, consider enjoying leftover mushrooms cold, tossed into a salad with olive oil, lemon, and fresh herbs. They can be just as delicious without the risks of warming. If you're cooking mushrooms, try preparing only what you'll eat in one sitting to avoid the need for storage altogether. The broader lesson here is that small dietary choices can have a cumulative impact on your health. Avoiding warmed mushrooms might seem like a trivial adjustment, but it's one less source of strain on your digestive and immune systems over time. These mindful choices can help you feel lighter, more energized, and better equipped to handle the challenges of aging. By paying attention to how you prepare and store sensitive foods like mushrooms, you're investing in your long-term vitality, one meal at a time. As we wrap up this video, I want to thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the surprising dangers of warming certain foods. Take a moment to reflect. What have you learned today that surprised you the most? Maybe it's the hidden risks of warming spinach, the bacterial dangers in potatoes, or how something as simple as warming eggs or chicken could impact your health over time. We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you've learned today and how you plan to put it into practice in your life. Your thoughts inspire us to keep creating content that informs and empowers you. If you enjoy this video, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.